Good evening, this is David T from Field Sports Scotland and welcome to another episode of FSS Chatback. This is my weekly podcast in regards to giving you the updates that I have been up to this week, any kind of news that are in the industry and any reviews that are coming up. First of all, thank you again for everybody who tunes into this every week and actually goes on to my YouTube reviews and stuff like that. It's very much appreciated. I earn no money from any of this. I get no benefits from any of this, other than the fact that I keep up to date with everything that's going on in the shooting world, or try to anyway. Now, first of all, what have I been up to? Right, so deer management this week has been pretty productive. We are carrying on with the deer management on the estate, and I have been doing summer pest control on the farms, done a bit of rabbits, done a bit of pigeons, have done some foxes, and I have shot some deer, which is absolutely great. Had some technical issues with quad bikes. We'll come back to that later because I am really, really angry at Polaris. And I'm going to explain to you later why you should never, ever buy a Polaris at all, whatever. Right, so first of all, any news this week? Well, one of the biggest news this week is, as you all know, I've been kind of working with Arken Optics over the Zulus over the last 4 months, and I had just completed and posted my final thoughts and review on the 3-12, and I did this last week. Within 2 days of doing my final say on the Arken Optics Zulus, what did they go and do? They literally announced that they were being bought over, or they were bought over by DNT Optics. Now, that is just a part of the question, because Arken Optics still exist, but they kind of work alongside DNT. The actual purchase from of the Zulus range and their digital night vision is from DNT, but it's the same players that are involved. Now, I'll just to clarify that, what I'll go and do is I'll go on to the press announcement that they had, which was not that long ago. They had basically said there was a bit of confusion. I'm going to just try and read this out to you right now, which is a little bit of pain to get into because obviously I've got a couple of accounts. Let's see. Let's find this up just now. It's now called DNT Global Optics as a group, and they did put a press release out. So the first press release was in regards to its changing its name. So here is the original press release that they put out. We are thrilled to announce that the formation of DNT Optics Day and Night Technologies, building on the successes of Arken Zulus, DNT is derived from the prior successes of Arken Zulus, but with new ownership, management and team. Now that gets a bit of confusion in there already, because it's saying clearly in this press release that they have new owners, new management and new team. This change is intended to better reflect our commitment to providing innovative products and exceptional customer service for day, night, and thermal optics. Rest assured, DNT Optics will maintain the exceptional quality you've come to expect. We appreciate your patience during this transition and look forward to continuing to serve your needs with the same great products and services. Stay tuned for more updates and thank you for being on your... So that's fair enough. They basically said, right, we're under new owners, we've got a new team going on, and Arken Optics are now technically DNT Optics. Now, it gets a little bit different. So we carry on a little bit further in regards to another press release that they gave. There has been some confusion over this period of change. Some of you are already adopters and fans of the Zulus line and digital night vision scopes, while others are just joining in and discovering how amazing the technology is. Arken Optics did offer the Zulus digital scopes, however, they are moving away from digital. The team behind the Zulus are here at DNT Optics. So it's the same great team dedicated to bring you the latest technology at an affordable price. So technically what's really happened is their digital night vision market, their thermal market and all that sort of stuff went to a different company, and they're carrying on with their daytime optics. Now, I kind of thought this was going on a while back when I first started dealing with Arken Optics, because every time I spoke to them about their SHV and their EP brands of day scopes, they always steered me away from that. They always said, we don't want you reviewing that. We don't want you looking at that. We just want you to look at the night vision market. To be fair, that's where my expertise is anyway. Night vision scopes, thermal scopes. Anybody who knows me, that is pretty much what I'm into. Arken Optics, Arken will continue to fulfill their outstanding orders in Zulu scopes. However, once they fulfill these orders, they will no longer be offering the Zulus line of scopes. So it will no longer be Arken that deals with those scopes. That means a complete rebrand of those scopes, a complete move over, and I did the updates, which I'll come back to you, and even on the units themselves, the new update says DNT, not Arken Optics. DNT will be offering all Zulu scopes along with our new Thermite multispectral scope. For those of you who currently own and are enjoying the Zulus 520 or the 520R, we are here to support you. Not only will our DNT Optics upgrade your Zulus scopes, we are here if you need technical support as well as cover the warranty for the Zulus sold by Arken. May we please ask for your patience during this transition. Our improved customer support is here for you. The future looks bright and exciting with what we got in store for you. Well, that all sounds brilliant. So another thing that has happened also is after the review I did last week, I wasted, well, I don't think I wasted an hour. I did the review on the 3 to 12R, the ZHD 320R, 312R, sorry, not 320, 312R. I did my final say on that, and one of my big criticisms was that when they supplied the scope, they didn't supply it with the V-cell IR, they only supplied it with the LED IR. Well, now, when you purchase a 3 to 12, which will be under DNT Optics from now on, that will no longer come with the LED. That will actually become defunct. They will now be selling it with the V-cell. Now, that is, well, it's actually a huge win for the likes of myself and a few others who complain. Now, I have spoken to quite a few people now in regards to this, and they said that they agree with the move over to V-cell from the LED. Now, when I first brought this up the first time I got my hands on that 312, and I brought it up and I did put a video up. Now, I kind of got a little bit of backlash from people in the community. People were going, did you not realize it's only marketed for ratters? It's only marketed for air gunners. It's only marketed for this, which is fair enough. And Arken themselves came back to me and said this. They said, it's only marketed for the air gun. We developed it for the air gun market, for indoor use and whatever. Now, I'm like, but that's a bit silly. There's a fantastic scope. Why did you market it for that? And they came back to me and said, well, that's what the demand was. The demand was ratters. Now, under DNT Optics, they will now no longer be offering the LED IR. They will be offering the V-cell IR. Now, I purchased a V-cell from Pete Dodsworth for the 3 to 12, and I had it out the other night there, and I was shooting rabbits out to 140 yards, which was fantastic. And I could see them really good. You know, that is what it was designed for. That's what it should be for. You know, so you could see the most optimum distance at any one time. Well, it's great to see the U-turn. It really is, because to be honest, you can use the V-cell indoors, outdoors, short range, long range, whatever, right? It didn't flood out the image. It didn't do anything dangerous to the image. So the arguments I've been having for the last month in regards to this IR has been pretty much quashed by DNT Optics, which is formerly Arken Optics. So that's good news. It's good news in one sense, and it sounds exciting that that Arken are moved along with the DNT, and hopefully what they're bringing out is going to be cool. They're bringing out a new thermal spectral unit, which is day, night, and thermal, which is great. A lot of the Chinese brands are actually bringing out the multispectrals, and I can see Hick Micro following with a scope. They're already doing it with their binoculars, and they've got a 8K one coming out, I believe, as well, Hick Micro. So the night vision and thermal market is just going to become phenomenal over the next couple of years. And that new multispectral is going to be under £1,000. So you're paying £600 for your 520 or your 312 Arken Zulus. You could be looking at a multispectral for about £999, which is absolutely amazing. It really is. But what will the quality be like? And I'm going to say this from the bottom of my heart. If it is going to be as popular as I think it's going to be, even though I've got a feeling that Arken or DNT are still going to say it's aimed at, even though their promotional stuff is all at deer, it's all deer viewing and all that on their promotional advert, I can still see this being aimed at the airgun market, which is a bit of a shame if they go down that route, because that's a mistake they did when they were Arken Optics. They should be looking at the wider market as a whole, not just air guns, not just your rimfire guys, and not just your centerfire guys or your foxing guys and deer guys or whatever. They should be looking at it as, what unit can we have that can work with every single thing throughout, across the board, because that is where the importance is. Anyway, that gets me. It's actually good news. It really is. The moving from Arken to DNT is going to become less confusing in regards to day optics. Obviously, Arken Optics will want to carry on with their day optics, which is, I've been told, which is a huge American, it's starting to become huge in America. And I can see DNT will be carrying on with their night vision and stuff like that. So it just still means that the products are out there. Now, I have done the updates on both Zuluses. Now, there's a couple of things I like. I haven't seen any dislikes at the moment, other than the fact to just make sure you have a copy of all your data that is currently on your scopes just now before you go and do the updates, because it completely wipes all your profiles and it completely wipes your zeroing and stuff like that. So keep a note of all your data from the previous apps in it. They've also taken away the Arken Optics apps, which is the ballistic one, and which you connected via Bluetooth, and the Wi-Fi one, which you connect, which was your photograph apps and your video apps or whatever, right? Now they have moved. And the other one did your updates and your upgrades and stuff like that for the firmware. Now they have taken away both of those apps, which will still work with your optics, but they have also put it into one app under DNT Optics, which has the included ballistics in the one app. So it's one singular app that I can find. Now, I did the updates on both scopes, and the updates seem to go through really well. What it does do is it changes all the logos that come up on the screen from your welcome screen straight through to your video and screen. It changes it from Arken, the little Arken logo, and the big Arken Optics logo at the front on the welcome screen, to DNT on the welcome screen with a different kind of style of logo, and it has a constant DNT little logo in the corner for when you're recording. Now, the other features that may have come with the scope haven't been apparent to me yet, because I haven't had them out in the field since I did the updates today. I know, I'm breathless. I've kind of been speaking non-stop now for 14 minutes, and it's just bear in mind, get all your details down, before you do the upgrades, or the firmware updates, because that will just clear everything. You'll have to start from scratch and you have to re-zero everything, which I am going to have to do on the rimfire. However, I don't really care because I am shifting over the barrel from the 17 HMR barrel. I'm going to put on the 22LR barrel. I might even put the 3-12 back on the 243 and then put the 5-20 back on the 270 so that I can do a few bits and mix some ammunition up and stuff like that. I've also got new ammunition coming for the 223 that I want to try. So I'm going to try some nozzler ballistic tips that I haven't tried on the 223 before with attack reload. And so I want to try that out in the next couple of weeks. I've ordered those bullets from Arken Cloud, so they should come in the next couple of days, which is great. I'm looking forward to doing a little bit of load testing. It's been non-stop. It really has. And as you can hear, I'm feeling a heck of a lot better than this cold that I had over the last week or so, which was knocking the absolute crap out of me, which is fine, which is great. As you see, I'm sporting a bandage on my arm. That is just for sore. I've kind of hurt my arm dragging deer. So it's just the joys of working outside. You always get injuries, cut forehead with branches, cuts in my eyes this week. I've had all sorts of things going on, which is just a day in the life. I am actually going to put a video up over the next couple of days. I gives you a kind of 12, 14 hours with me overnight, showing some of the bits I'm getting into when I'm out at night, as well as a bit of stalking in the evening, some stalking and shooting during the day. Got a really nice roe buck this week as well, which was first probably not a trophy, but first closest to a trophy I've had this year, which is great because I don't get much roe deer on the estate. I have been seeing quite a few roe deer on the farms, but I've kind of backed away from them a little bit. Right, what else? So I kind of promised, and I said at the start of this podcast, I was going to talk about Polaris. Now, I am really, really peeved off at Polaris, and I have been for a while, and I haven't really kind of spoke to anybody about this in regards to coming public with it. But as I'm not the only person that is peeved off with Polaris up here right now, I am going to tell you the facts. Now, so last year I purchased a Polaris UTE 570 for around about £5,500. I kind of needed it because I was told that my old quad bike was going to die, which didn't die in the end, and I still have that, thank God, because otherwise I'd be without a quad bike right now. Now, I have had some electrical issues with that. I've replaced the dial on it because Polaris told me it was a dial. That cost me over £500. I replaced the cut-off switch because they said that that's what was draining my battery, which cost me another £300 or £450. I have replaced the clutch on it, which probably my fault with towing, but hey, I replaced the clutch on it, and now I am having yet another problem where the battery is being fried. So I am in the process of trying to go through Polaris and getting that fixed. Now, here's the big thing is I went to a guy who is local, is very good at engineering, has looked at my old quads in the past and has always been very reasonable and very good. And his family own a farm in Croft as well, and they purchased a brand new Polaris. And yeah, well, let's just say he's having problems with his Polaris Ranger, which is brand new. And when he tried to contact the dealer who he was doing engineering work for, believe it or not, they actually asked him to do work for him in regards to Polaris up here. Let's just say he fell out with them over his own Polaris Ranger. Now, I've had a falling out with the guys in Dingwall, who's the Polaris dealer in the Highlands, and they are absolute shower. They really are, because the fact of the matter is they have that misdiagnosed each and every time. Now, I have got a brand new battery that should be under warranty, and I'm going to take it back next week, and I'm going to tell them that this battery is yet again fried. Now, this is the third battery that this bike has had. Now, they have looked at the bike. They have cost me over £1,000 in regards to repairs for it, because they're not cheap. They charge around about £80 to £120 an hour. And they are still not resolving my issue. And I'll tell you one thing, every time I take it back to them, they get more and more irate, and they ask for more and more money. And now I am getting a little bit miffed. So I'm going to tell you this one thing from a consumer point of view, who's somebody who have dealt with multiple brands of ATV, from Argo Cats to Honda to Yamaha. My little bike at the moment is a Yamaha. From Can-Am and Polaris. I have tried them all. I will tell you one thing. Go to any of the other ones and stay away from Polaris, especially Polaris UK, because their aftermarket sales are absolutely awful. They really are, and all they want is extra money on top. The warranties are poor. Everything about their services are poor, but they'll fall over themselves to sell you a product. After you've got that product, they don't give a toss. And then if you do force them to give a toss, what happens is they just make it life a lot more harder for you. It doesn't matter how much money you spend, no amount of money is enough to please them. And I am getting this from a number of Polaris dealers now. This is not just the guys up here in the Highlands. This is guys in Perth. This is Polaris dealers down south. I am speaking to multiple people who own Polarises in the UK, and their aftermarket sales are absolutely shocking. So I'm having a bit of a rant about it on here, which I can do. So there's a bit of consumer news today. So it is consumer news. Arken Optics have moved away from, are now being bought over by D&T Optics. Apparently the same Zulus teams will be going over, so Brian Smith and all that. Hopefully they get to chat. I still keep on contact with them so I can look at their new products when they bring them out. Pick Micro are bringing out new products in the next month or so, which I should be getting my hands on. I want to get my hands on it so I can do some reviews on that. I am going to be speaking to some people this week about getting some reviews on shooting sticks, trail cameras, and various other things, and we're going to go through the whole works. We're going to try and work it all out. And hopefully we can throw some sales those guys' ways as well. Now, back to myself in regards to how I want this channel moving forward. Now, I have my day-to-day work, so it's been very, very difficult. I would like for you guys to get involved, especially in the channel side of things, not so much in the podcast side of things, because I know it's hard for many of you to come on a Wednesday night and do a podcast. But I would love for you guys, if you want to get involved in the podcast, to come on board with me and help out. Now, I don't get paid for it. Nobody gets paid for it. There's no earnings on YouTube because we're a gun channel, and it's a bit of a foobar situation right now, actually, in regards to the marketing, because of the Donald Trump assassination and various other problems that happened in the States. YouTube are starting to get more and more strict. So I don't see it being a big problem, but however, as many of you know, I got banned from doing live feeds just a couple of weeks ago, about a month and a half ago, actually, just because there were some kids' voices in the background when I was setting up doing a part of the review for one of the optics that I was doing. So we can see how this goes forward. However, I am limited on what I do. I do foxing, I do rabbiting, I do deer, mostly deer, and 100% deer. I do a little bit of ecology stuff and various others. I get lots of photographs of deer. I get lots of videos of deer. I get lots of all sorts of things going on. But I want to know what you guys get up to, and I want one or two people that are willing to throw me some videos my way and throw them on the channel so it can be you can join in on this experience, because that is what it's all about, is just creating a community where we have got a freedom of information between us all in regards to products, in regards to news, regards to what is happening in our community. Because the fact is, at the moment, it's all jumbled up and there's mixed messages here. Now, there's a lot of guys out there who are classed as pro staff. And I noticed that they do a lot of things where they go to shows and stuff like that, and they pretend to show off stuff and they test a few items and that. But you don't see many of them actually doing any reviews and actually talking about the products that they're using on day-to-day basis. Now, the only people that can give an honest review is the ones who are out there purchasing the products, like yourself, the consumer, and actually telling me back, right, David, I agree with you in this side of things, and I disagree with you in others. Now, I hold little things back on my reviews, my video reviews, and I have done for the Arken Optics because there's plenty of people out there that are using them. I have done it for HIC Micro. I've did it for all the way through. Now, there is a reason why I hold certain information back. And I'm not meaning it's bad information. I mean it's any kind of information. And it's not silly information. It is informative information, but it doesn't kind of sway you whether you're going to buy something or not. And the reason why I hold some information back is because I often get comments in my comment sections of my videos telling me that this product does this, and they like this part about a product, and they dislike this part about a product, or they go, "Oh well, if you did it this way, then your product then it'll work or whatever." Now, I mainly do this whole back of information because if I bombard you with every single tiny little piece of information about a product, then you guys are not going to give me feedback. You guys are not going to come on the channel and go, "Oh, I've been using this for a month or 6 months or a year, and I'm not having this issue or I'm not having that issue." And me holding it back means that you guys have the freedom to come on, and I love it because I get it on the stocking directory, I get it on YouTube, I get it on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or any of the social media groups that I'm on. I get the feedback from you guys saying, "Wow, do you know what I really like? The auto IR function, I find it really, really useful." Well, dude, that's brilliant. I rarely ever use auto IR. I use IR on, IR off, and usually at the lowest setting. I don't get much benefit from putting it on the highest setting, and I've never really used it with the auto IR. Now, it's not because I don't know anything about the auto IR and how beneficial it could be to someone. What I do know is that it allows you to come on as a consumer to say to another consumer and give your additional part of the review. It allows you to communicate with other shooters, maybe not directly, but indirectly, with other shooters who are thinking about buying that product, saying, "Oh, I really love that. This is another feature. Oh, he's not mentioned this. Oh, wait a minute. He could have mentioned that, and I like that, or I dislike that." It allows you for a more informative opinion from different people and not just me. You know, I do understand that you guys want to listen to me me do this because this is partly what I'm doing, but I do like for you to get involved. So that's why I am offering out there for you guys, if you have got products and that you quite like, or you want to do your own little thing and you want to send me videos, or you want to get involved in this, even being a guest on the podcast to talk about a certain thing. Guests on the podcast is what I really want. And we could talk about anything you want and fire ideas, even if it's to do with deer management, fox control, rabbit control, fencing, farming, anything like that. Just something to bounce off each other and actually have a community-based conversation. Anyway, again, thank you for listening to my podcast this week. Next week, we have something interesting where I'm going to be talking about a full product review on one of the Zeiss scopes. I have been putting it off for a long time, and I'll do a full product review on that. As far as the podcast side of things, I am going to try and come up with something equally interesting for you guys out there, because I think we might need to get a guest on at some point. We'll see what happens in the next week. Planning starts tonight. Anyway, thank you for listening to another FSS Chatback. I'm Davey T. Happy hunting. Stay safe. Good night.